Hey friends, welcome back to Old Age Support. I'm so glad you're here today. As we journey together in our golden years, I want to share some important insights on a topic that affects many of us, protecting ourselves from financial scams after the age of 65. Today's conversation is not just about tips and warnings, it's a heartfelt sharing of experiences, science-backed facts, and practical advice, wrapped in a warm, conversational tone. I invite you to relax, settle in with your favorite cup of tea, and join me as we explore ways to keep our financial security safe in this ever-changing world. Let me start with a little story, a suspenseful introduction that might just change how you see your own security. Imagine a quiet evening, much like any other, when a sudden phone call shatters your calm. On the other end is a voice so persuasive, so convincing, that you feel as though you're speaking with an old friend. This is not a scene from a movie. It's a reality for many seniors today. Scientific research has shown that our brains, as we age, become more trusting, sometimes leading us to misjudge risky situations. In fact, studies from reputable institutions have revealed that with age, certain cognitive processes can slow down, making us more vulnerable to the subtle cues of deception. As you listen, you might recall a moment when a well-intentioned person turned out to have ulterior motives, a moment that left you feeling both betrayed and confused. Today I'll share with you the warning signs that experts have identified, alongside real-life scenarios where these techniques were employed by scammers. You'll learn how to spot them, not through alarm but through awareness, and ultimately, empowerment. So as we uncover these insights, I encourage you to reflect on your own experiences. Share your thoughts in the comments and ask any questions that might arise. Remember, we are in this together, and every comment is a step towards a safer tomorrow. Now let's dive into the heart of the matter. Over the years, I've seen how the world changes, sometimes faster than we can keep up. When I was younger, scams were crude, often obvious in their intentions. But as technology evolved, so did the methods of those who wished to take advantage of us. Today, scammers use a mix of psychological manipulation and digital wizardry, blending modern technology with age-old con artistry. One of the most striking aspects of these scams is how they play on our natural desire to trust. Research in psychology confirms that our brains are wired to respond to friendly voices, familiar accents, and even gentle humor, a vulnerability that scammers have learned to exploit. Let me share an anecdote that might resonate with some of you. A dear friend of mine, let's call her Margaret, received what appeared to be a call from a trusted bank representative. The caller explained that there had been a suspicious activity on her account, and they needed to verify her identity immediately. Margaret, already anxious from hearing about various scams on the news, responded quickly and, before she knew it, found herself on the losing end of a deceitful trap. Later, she learned that the scammer had mimicked the bank's official tone and used subtle cues that triggered her concern. Margaret's experience is a stark reminder that even the most cautious among us can be caught off guard if we're not aware of the psychological tricks at play. Scientific research into cognitive aging tells us that as our processing speed slows, we might rely more on emotional and intuitive responses rather than analytical thinking. This means that a scammer's friendly tone or urgent plea can override our normally careful judgment. But there is hope, and that hope lies in education and mindfulness. By understanding the psychology behind these scams, we can build a mental checklist to safeguard ourselves. For example, one proven strategy is to always pause before reacting. Take a deep breath and give yourself time to verify the situation, even if the caller insists on urgency. In moments of stress, our brains can get caught in a loop of anxiety, making it harder to think clearly. So my friends, remember, a few moments of calm can be your best defense. Let's talk about the different types of scams that target seniors. One common method is the grandparent scam. This scam preys on our deep-seated love for family. The scammer calls pretending to be a relative in distress. Maybe they say they're stranded in a foreign country or have been in an accident and urgently need money. Studies show that our familial bonds can sometimes override rational skepticism, leading us to act quickly to help without verifying the story. I once spoke to a gentleman who, in the midst of panic for his grandchild, wired money immediately without a second thought. Later, when he found out the truth, the regret was overwhelming. What a heartbreaking example of how even the strongest bonds can be manipulated. Another scam that's increasingly common is the tech support scam. Many of us didn't grow up with computers, and while many of us have learned to adapt, there's still a steep learning curve. Scammers exploit this gap in knowledge by posing as technical experts who claim that your computer is infected or compromised. They may guide you through a series of steps, often leading to them gaining access to sensitive information or installing harmful software. These scams are not just a matter of stolen money. They can also lead to identity theft, which is much harder to recover from once it occurs. It's crucial to remember that reputable companies will never call you unsolicited to fix your computer. I know that all of this might sound overwhelming, but I want you to know that there are simple, practical steps you can take to protect yourself. First and foremost, always be cautious when sharing personal information over the phone or online. Verify the identity of the caller or sender before taking any action. If something feels off, trust that instinct and hang up or ignore the message. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Additionally, consider setting up extra security measures, such as two-factor authentication, on your online accounts, which can act as a barrier even if your password is compromised. I encourage you to share your own experiences with scams in the comments below. Your stories can help others recognize warning signs and feel less alone in these challenging times. Each comment is a learning opportunity for us all, and I genuinely appreciate your willingness to share. If you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel so we can continue to support each other through these topics. Now let's shift gears and look at some of the psychological principles that scammers use and how understanding these can help us fend them off. One principle is known as the foot in the door technique, a method where scammers start with small, seemingly innocent requests. Once you comply with these minor asks, they gradually escalate their demands. This technique exploits our natural tendency to maintain consistency in our actions. Once we've said yes, it feels uncomfortable to suddenly say no later on, even when the requests become unreasonable. Recognizing this pattern can empower you to step back and evaluate whether each new request is truly in your best interest. Another important concept is the role of cognitive biases, such as the confirmation bias, where we tend to seek out information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. Scammers craft their stories to align with our expectations, making us more likely to believe their lies without scrutinizing the details. For instance, if a scammer tells you about a lucrative investment opportunity that seems too good to be true, it might trigger the confirmation bias if you've already been thinking about ways to supplement your retirement income. The key is to remain open-minded, yet critical, questioning the evidence before making any decisions. Throughout our lives, we learn through both our successes and our mistakes. I recall a time when I nearly fell for a scam that promised an easy way to double my savings with minimal effort. The pitch was slick and loaded with buzzwords, and I felt a spark of hope that maybe, just maybe, this could be the answer to my financial worries. But I took a step back and decided to research more about the claim. I discovered that the promise was based on distorted facts and misleading information. That experience taught me the value of due diligence, and now I always verify such opportunities with trusted sources. I want you, my dear friends, to take this lesson to heart. When something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Let's also consider the role of our emotions in decision-making. Neuroscientific studies have shown that our emotional centers can sometimes override logical thinking, especially when we feel threatened or excited. Scammers often use fear and excitement as levers to cloud our judgment. For example, a sudden warning about a security breach in your bank account can trigger an immediate panic response, causing you to act hastily. Learning to recognize these emotional triggers can help you pause and assess the situation more objectively. It might help to take a few deep breaths or even talk to a trusted friend before proceeding with any financial transactions. In our conversation today, I want to emphasize that protecting yourself is not about living in fear. It's about empowerment. The more you understand about these techniques, the more you can guard against them without sacrificing your peace of mind. Think of it as learning to lock your doors at night, not because you expect an attack, but because you value your security and well-being. And as you continue to educate yourself, you become a resource for others. Share what you learn with family, friends, or even your local community groups. Your experience and knowledge could be the very thing that prevents someone else from falling victim to a scam. One practical step you can take is to maintain an updated list of trusted contacts. This list should include family members, friends, and representatives from your bank or other institutions with which you do business. If you ever receive a call or message asking for sensitive information, refer back to this list and call the official numbers you have on file. I remember a time when I received an email that looked official, complete with a company logo and proper formatting. Instead of replying immediately, I called the company directly using the number on their official website. It turned out to be a phishing attempt, and I was relieved that I had taken that extra step. Another valuable tip is to stay informed about common scams targeting seniors. Many community centers and local libraries offer workshops on digital literacy and fraud prevention, and these can be excellent resources. I often attend these sessions and find that sharing what I've learned with others not only reinforces my own knowledge, but also strengthens our community. When we discuss these issues openly, we create an environment where scammers have less room to operate. I encourage you to explore such opportunities in your own community. And if you ever feel unsure about a particular situation, don't hesitate to ask questions, either in the comments here or among your trusted circle. Now I'd like to share a fictional yet relatable story that encapsulates many of these lessons. Picture a retired teacher named Eleanor. Eleanor had always been cautious with her money, but as the years passed, she found herself increasingly isolated, with fewer daily interactions. One day she received a call from someone claiming to be a representative from a charity dedicated to helping seniors in need. The caller's voice was gentle and compassionate, and he mentioned several causes Eleanor cared about deeply. Over several conversations, he slowly built trust, eventually asking for a small donation to support a local community project. Eleanor, feeling a warm sense of duty, agreed and sent a check. A few weeks later, she discovered that the charity was nothing more than a front for a scam. Eleanor was heartbroken, not only because of the financial loss, but also because she felt betrayed by the kindness she had extended. Her experience, while fictional, mirrors many real-life accounts and serves as a powerful reminder. Always verify before you give. If you've ever encountered something similar, please share your story in the comments. Your experience might be the cautionary tale someone else needs. As we continue, I want to delve into some actionable steps you can take right now. First, consider reviewing your financial statements regularly. Set aside time each month to go through your bank statements, credit card bills, and any investment accounts. Keeping an eye on your finances can help you spot any unusual activity early on. It's a habit that not only protects your money, but also gives you a sense of control over your personal finances. And if you ever notice something out of place, reach out to your bank immediately. Second, be cautious with unsolicited communications. Whether it's a phone call, email, or even a social media message, if you weren't expecting contact from someone, treat it with caution. Look for signs of authenticity, such as a verified email address or a known phone number. And if you're in doubt, don't hesitate to hang up or ignore the message. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Third, educate yourself about common financial scams. There are many resources available, books, online articles, and community classes that can provide valuable insights. I often find that staying informed is one of the best defenses. In fact, research published in reputable journals highlights that individuals who engage in continuous learning and maintain social connections are less likely to fall prey to fraud. So, consider making it a habit to read up on the latest scam trends and share your findings with friends or family. Engaging in these discussions not only broadens your knowledge, but also reinforces the community bond that is so essential in our later years. Another important aspect is to have a trusted confidant, a friend or family member who can offer a second opinion on any financial decision that seems too hasty or out of the ordinary. I recall a time when I was approached by someone with a tempting investment opportunity that promised unusually high returns. Before making any decisions, I discussed it with my neighbor, who has a background in finance. His objective perspective helped me see the red flags I might have otherwise overlooked. I encourage you to build a network of trusted individuals. Ask for their thoughts when something doesn't feel right. And remember that no decision is too small to discuss. We also need to consider the role of technology in our lives. While technology brings many benefits, it also opens new avenues for fraud. Scammers today can use sophisticated software to mimic legitimate institutions, create fake websites, and even simulate phone numbers to look authentic. One effective way to protect yourself is to ensure that your computer and mobile devices are secure. This means installing reputable antivirus software, updating your operating systems regularly, and being cautious about downloading new apps or clicking on unfamiliar links. I've made it a point in my life to treat every digital interaction with a bit of healthy skepticism, a practice that has saved me more than once. Let's take a moment to reflect on the emotional side of these issues. It's natural to feel vulnerable when discussing scams, especially if you or someone you love has been affected. However, knowledge is power. The more we learn about how scammers operate, the more we can arm ourselves against them. I often remind myself that our experiences, even the painful ones, can become sources of strength and wisdom. I invite you to consider this. Every time you take a step to protect your finances, you are also protecting your future and that of those you care about. And in that effort, you are not alone. There's a whole community of us here at Old Age Support, ready to help each other out. Before we wrap up today's discussion, I'd like to leave you with a few final thoughts. Protecting yourself from financial scams is not about becoming paranoid. It's about being prepared. It's about acknowledging that while we cannot control every situation, we can control how we respond. By taking small, consistent steps, like verifying every phone call, reviewing your statements, and staying informed, you build a fortress around your finances. I encourage you to share any tips or personal strategies that have worked for you in the comments below. Your insights might be exactly what another friend needs to hear. If you found value in this conversation, please consider subscribing to Old Age Support. We're a community of friends who share, learn, and grow together. Every subscription, every comment, and every share helps us reach more people who might benefit from this knowledge. And remember, it's never too late to learn something new, to protect yourself, and to create a future that feels secure and hopeful. As I conclude, I want to remind you that you are capable, wise, and deserving of respect and security. Financial scams can be daunting, but with the right knowledge and a supportive community, we can stand strong against them. I hope this video has provided you with not only practical advice, but also a sense of camaraderie and empowerment. Together, we can navigate these challenges, learn from our experiences, and continue to lead lives filled with dignity and joy. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading your thoughts, questions, and personal stories in the comments. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, every day is an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Stay safe, stay informed, and keep that spirit of curiosity alive. Goodbye, my dear friends, and see you in the next video. In closing, I want to reiterate a few key points. Always verify any unexpected communication, maintain a network of trusted contacts, and keep your digital tools updated. These steps, combined with a mindful approach to your emotions and cognitive biases, create a robust shield against financial scams. Our journey together here at Old Age Support is built on shared experiences, scientific facts, and practical advice that empower us all. Imagine a future where each of us feels confident and secure in our financial decisions, where we can enjoy our golden years without the worry of falling prey to deceitful schemes. That future starts with the knowledge you gain today. I truly believe that with every conversation like this one, we build a stronger, more resilient community. So please, if you've ever encountered a scam or if you have strategies that have worked for you, share them with us. Your voice matters, and your story might be the beacon of hope someone else needs. Remember that our minds, while sometimes vulnerable to certain tricks, are also incredibly resilient. Neuroscientific studies show that with the right exercises and mental habits, we can sharpen our decision-making skills even in later life. It's never too late to learn, adapt, and become even more adept at protecting what matters most: our peace of mind and our hard-earned savings. I encourage you all to engage with this community. Ask questions, share your experiences, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need more information or reassurance. Whether you're tech-savvy or just getting started with the digital world, every one of us has the potential to stay informed and safe. And if you have family members who could benefit from this information, please share this video with them. It's a small step that could prevent a big problem. As we look toward the future, let's make a pact to support one another. Let's promise to remain vigilant, to question what seems too good to be true, and to stand together in the face of challenges. After all, in our later years, our greatest asset isn't just our wisdom, it's our community. And as long as we have each other, no scam or deceit can ever truly take that away. So once again, thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you feel more empowered and informed about how to protect yourself from financial scams after 65. I believe that together, we can outsmart those who try to take advantage of us. Remember, knowledge is our strongest ally, and sharing it makes us all stronger. Stay safe, stay alert, and above all, stay kind to yourselves and to one another. I'll be here, ready to share more insights, stories, and practical advice in our next video. Until then, keep learning and take good care. Goodbye, dear friends, and see you soon. Feel free to leave your comments or questions below. I'm always here to listen and help. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Old Age Support for more heartfelt and practical guidance on navigating life's later years with confidence.